Expect more incentives, the rich keep getting richer. This is going to break the trend, guys. So landlords in South San Francisco are doing everything that they can to try and entice possible tenants as space continues to grow in the area. Who would have thought that you get to a point where landlords are desperate to lock in tenants that they provide so much for the people, huh? Competition in business is always a good thing for consumers. It gives us options and it forces companies to try to fight for our dollars. Now, one particular brand is putting their fear into the hearts of stores like H&M and other local retailers. And guess what, guys? That brand is called Shein. I don't know if it's Shein or Shein. So anyway, it's a Chinese fashion retailer that's producing clothes at such a fast pace while keeping the cost of each item down. Something that retailers here in the country are having a tough time competing with. I mean, heck, it's even giving Fashion Nova a run for their money. Have you bought any clothes from Shein lately? So here's a question. If you had to choose between buying a new shirt compared to buying a few shares in the stock market, which would you opt for? Somebody who's using his money right during this time is Jeff Bezos. The billionaire is backing a company that's already bought $100 million in single-family home acquisitions. Now, it might seem ruthless, but he's got the right idea. Economic downturns open up opportunities when it comes to the housing market and real estate. The same opportunities that you and I can get into and that we've been talking about right here on the channel. Now, with all this talk about a recession, you should also be aware that business opportunities open up during this time as well. And given that you've been working to build your reserves throughout this time, you might actually be seeing some opportunities opening up that you could make a ton of money from. And online reviews have existed for as long as I can remember. Buying stuff online, giving possible buyers a first-hand look at the products from the eyes of actual customers. Now, the problem is that even more and more fake reviews are getting into the market and onto the internet, and customers like me and you, we're getting baited into buying products that sound too good to be true. Now, it's possible, though, that this trend will soon be broken as fines are now being discussed for them. All right, folks, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the updates. Also, for the very best way to invest in gold or silver, check out the links in the description down below this video. You want to know why the rich keep getting richer? It's because they don't necessarily swim in money. They would rather invest it to make even more money. Investments aren't the simplest things to get into, but given the right background, anybody with the right capital can get started. Billionaire Jeff Bezos, he's making the most during this downturn as he invested in a startup back in 2021 that wanted to make real estate investments more accessible to retail investors. So the company's called Arrived Homes, and they're offering fractional share ownership, meaning that you could just have a small fraction of an investment into real estate, a rare sight given that you normally need a lot of money to get invested in the real estate market. Do you guys think that this is going to become more of the norm? Will there be more renters compared to homeowners in our country? And if it was you, would you be all right with fractional ownership? Now, in the same light, let's talk about what's happening in San Francisco, where biotech landlords are trying to sway as many tenants as they can to the area. So what's happening over there, right? Well, these landlords were cutting prices and providing great incentives for lab leases so that they can lock in tenants now as they expect a huge increase in supplies. Newmark Executive Managing Director Eric Bluestein, he said this, quote, "Smart landlords are addressing the situation. They've been proactive, trying not to get lost in the dust. So they've gotten aggressive and are offering a lot of free rent and tenant improvements," end quote. Now, it's easy to see that competition is definitely going to be becoming even more stiff here, and we're likely to hear about different incentives and free offerings so long as people sign up for the long haul. Now, on the topic of competition, H&M, a lot of you guys have probably heard of this clothing store company. The Sweden-based fashion retailer is facing some tough competition as Shein, the controversial Chinese brand, is fast becoming a bigger threat to many different retailers across not just the nation, but the entire world.
Fashion has had to constantly evolve. But the industry radically changed in the 1990s when brands like Zara, H&M, and Topshop led the way with what we now know as fast fashion. They mastered the process of taking expensive clothes that were on the catwalk and mass producing them in as little as 3 weeks. Fashion had never been this cheap and accessible before.
And Paris right here, those eyes.
Then, at the turn of the century, online-only giants like ASOS and Boohoo took this model to the next level, shortening production time to as little as a week. Industry experts call these online-only brands ultra-fast fashion. And now, we're in a new era, real-time retail. Companies disrupting the status quo produce clothes in as little as 3 days. And this era's leader? Well, it's a Chinese company called Shein.
Shein launches around 3,000 to 4,000 new female apparel products every day. So it is a very huge amount. And the product is at pretty low price, ranging from $2 USD to $30.
It is very fast, and the products are updated much more frequently and at a higher volume than any other fast fashion brand.
Their edge lies with artificial intelligence and how it can identify trends and then sell these clothes at incredibly cheap prices, even some less than $10. H&M is now trying to catch up, and they're starting with their ribbed crop tops. So they're cutting prices by more than 70% from $4.99 to $1.70. Shein, though, has been questioned by critics as some say that they have unethical business and labor practices. However, this doesn't seem to bother the influencers that visited their innovation centers, as they left amazing reviews for their trips. Now, since we're already talking about reviews here, let's discuss how fake reviews are awful. Like, I mean, have you ever checked an item before and then like saw the 5 stars and then those reviews of multiple people saying that this product was amazing and how they can't believe it's this cheap and all that? Well, new rules may change all this. So the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, wants to fine these companies $50,000 for each fake review for each time a customer sees it. Whoo! So that's going to be a lot of money. That could literally put businesses out of business. I mean, just think of it this way. One fake review seen by just 10 people, that would be like a $500,000 fine. Ouch. Definitely not worth it. Do you guys agree that this is something that we need in this day and age? Have you ever been on like any kind of website and seen fake reviews, whether it's Amazon or Walmart or Home Depot or wherever you happen to shop? So analysts from every nook and cranny are saying that a recession is coming. And yes, I get it. This is bad news. But if you've been wise with your money and continue to push toward making wise investments, the recession may mean something completely different for you. For others, it's layoffs and financial hardships. For some, it's the best time to look for places where you can invest your money. Now, I know that it sounds terrible, sounds awful, but the same thing happened back in 2008 when a huge transfer of wealth happened with people who didn't know what they were going to be doing with their money compared to others who understood the value of a dollar. And so this is why I know that more of us are cutting down on costs and they're putting away money, because you could feel it coming. Like, you could feel these crashes that are inevitable as the ground starts to crumble like beneath our feet. But this time around, I think you guys are going to be ready. Now you might be asking, well, like, how do you think I'm going to do that, Ron? And I would answer by arming yourself with education and knowledge and learning about these topics. You see, I have skin in the game. I understand how investments work in the real estate market, the stock market, even in gold and silver. I've even learned to generate multiple streams of income through various means, side hustles, home-based businesses, small businesses. And with this knowledge, you're bound to take your first step toward financial freedom. Now, if you guys want to learn more about this, definitely hit me up in the comment section down below. Love to hear from you guys. Now, before I wrap things up, please do me a huge favor. Drop a quick like for the video. Share this video with everyone you know. Definitely subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you on the next one.